how goes it? Now usually, I mostly start off with what I watched for learning purposes, but I had these first 3 weeks of making videos again, and I had to fast track a lot of it. I knew bits and pieces of how to do things, though, because of my fractured way of learning things, I didn't ever spend enough time to get a firm enough grasp of how these things work. You know, the video editing isn't anything fancy right now. Audio has basic editing done to it, and some odd choices were made with the thumbnails. So, for the first 3 weeks, it was figuring out the workflow and how things work, like how uploading works now as I haven't done it since all those changes were made. What program should I use for making thumbnails, and which choice of font to use. The proper way to record audio, how to edit that audio, should I hit the record button and go off the top of my head, or come up with a script or outline to keep me from losing my train of thought, etc. But I figured out some things and came up with an okay workflow for now. So then what were you doing all this week? Well, I, for the most part, caught up with some shows that were falling out to the wayside while I was learning stuff. Because, even though it's an additional challenge to worry about, you have to be in the loop on things going on in your corner of the internet. Perfect excuse. I mean, doesn't mean you have to be a fan of everything or care about everything going on. Just that if you enjoy / like something everyone else is into at the moment, why not make the most of it? Though, I plan to jump back into these how-to files I have more so than videos for a bit. I mean, it's only 78 files with mostly at least 150 pages each. Oh boy, I got this. Anyway, rambling aside, let's talk about what happened this time in the video. Now, this is what I like doing, drawing eyes. What I don't like is trying to color them afterwards. But this was not about drawing them, it was about coloring them. And I had 3 goals in mind with this. Not that I thought I was going to accomplish them in 1 or 2 coloring sessions, of course. The first one being picking the colors myself, as I had just said before how I have trouble with that, and because of that, I use the color picker to grab from the reference when recoloring for practice. So, I said, well, the colors are already there, I just need to find them in the color wheel, right? And you'll see that in the video, I was trying to find the, or close enough, right color. And, for the most part, I was almost there with a lot of them. Funny thing is, so I sketch in red because you know, they tell you to use a different color when you start a drawing, and then you can change it or make it black once you get to the lining or cleanup phase. Now, I could have, and most likely will start doing, is getting that color back from the color history. But, for some reason, I believed that I could, even though I've never been able to, keep track of which color panel I'm using, or layer when I really get into a drawing. So, I went on the color wheel, chose the color, maybe used it a little, realized it was the wrong color panel, and would change it back. Second thing was figuring out which brush combos went well together. As you can see, I switched brushes like every new eye. For the most part it went okay, right? Up close it was a mess, but from afar it looked alright, I guess. For the last 4, I tried out some more combos off screen and went back at it. I'll have to try some more as a lot of them weren't quite what I was looking for. The gray background, if you're wondering, was me trying to make the brush have, I guess, like a harder edge to it so it wouldn't be wet or something. I don't know. Not important. Now, the last goal was, of course, trying different techniques of reconstructing the reference eye, as there are many ways of going about it. You know, start off with a base color and add shading and highlights, or start off with a darker color and then use a lighter color for shading and stuff. Or start with black and then color everything else on top of that. There's also, which I was too afraid to try at the moment, grayscale to color, using like overlays and other different layers, I don't know. The worst part is when you forget what method you use to achieve past results, literally the next day. I mean, I've been writing it down from the start, of course. Got out of that one. Note to self. Keep more notes to self. And with that, I'll see you next time. 100% not slacking at all. Nope. No. Really. I'm not, really.